Sure, I can actually answer for that. I can answer that for you now. There isn't. I don't believe there's an actual bug hunting diploma or certificate. There are courses you can take online. So Bug Bounty has Hacker One has Hacker 101. I actually put them in the chat. Hold on. There's Hacker One, and then Bug Crowd also has a training course. I can't remember the name of it though. So yeah, there's Hacker 101, and then Bug Crowd has a training course too. Bug Crowd University. So I'll put this in the link here. And then those are two that you can get. And then there are also several books. If you give me 1 second, I'll actually probably just bring up my blog site. I might as well just throw that in here while I'm waiting. And I don't want to announce nothing yet, but stay tuned. I have a couple announcements I'm going to make in regards to that as well. So there's a link to a bunch of books that I personally recommend just to get started. Yeah, that's my blog site. Um, that's where most of my stuff will be updated the most. Give you. I'm gonna put in the link for Amazon for that book. That book is the Web Application Hacker Handbook. Totally recommend getting that one, as well as, let's see, get you some more for bug hunting. Oh, geez, how could I forget? Peter Yorsk. He actually also has a book on bug hunting. I think it's actually called no, I think that's web hacking 101. And then there is also the Bug Bounty book. So that's honestly what they have right now for bug hunting. If there are any other courses, there will and anybody else is in the chat, feel free to add them. But I would definitely recommend. Where is it? There we go. It's called Real World Bug Hunting. I'll put that link in here too. So and then there are a bunch of courses on Udemy. If you don't know what Udemy is, it's a training site where you can get courses for, as little as $10, $11. So let me see here. Since it's just us at the moment, try to get you right. All right, so that's a link. That's a link to like a bunch of hacking courses on Udemy that you can take a look at. and grab. So you'll get like continuing education credits, or you'll get like certificates of completion. But as far as an official bug hunting course, I don't think there's one that you can like get you can get like certified in. Um, I would have to double check, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. Let's see what else is going on here. All right. All right, so I think we can get started. I don't think anybody else is going to join. I wanted to do my weekly check-in, or at least start up my weekly check-ins. So, how you guys doing? How's quarantine life treating you on day whatever, week 6, 7, 8? I don't know. You can use whatever you want. You can use Windows. You can use Kali. People prefer Kali just because the tools are more accessible on Kali. Honestly, for bug bounty hunting, you don't need too many tools, so you can probably download them on Windows. It's just your preference. I'm good. Just trying to get through another week. So, question: who's still working? You guys still working? Deemed essential? I want to ask a couple questions real quick. I'm probably going to go on a little rant, but it's all right. All right. So the reason why I'm asking about if people are still working is because a few people working in the office. Be safe, Curb. Be safe. But yeah, the reason I wanted to I was asking that question is because I was noticing I've been speaking to a couple friends for the last few weeks, and they've been like really stressed out because they're grateful that they are working, and that they're lucky to be considered essential, or 5 out of a normal 50 people. Okay, so you have enough room for distancing. But yeah, like I said, a couple of my friends were telling me, like, honestly, it started a couple weeks ago that it seemed like as more people were getting laid off and furloughed, that their current employers were kind of it was almost like the current employers felt like they had more power, or they had more leverage to do and say certain things, almost like they were kind of taking advantage of them. So they were asking me advice on what they should do, and you know, I'm never going to tell someone to quit their job and jeopardize their livelihoods, because I don't know what kind of bills they have. I don't know what kind of obligations that they have to their families or their friends or whoever. But I always tell them to kind of know your worth and never do anything that's going to make you feel like you have to compromise who you are or compromise your integrity. So that's always been my advice. And then recently, I started noticing certain things happening around certain places that I work and deal with, and I just felt like I wanted to kind of take the opportunity to. I wanted to take the opportunity to just kind of give my personal advice. If I'm on university, what do I have to choose to start in a bug hunting world? I if Mary, I put up a bunch of links up there. Like I said, there's Hacker 101, there's Bug Crowd University. There's a bunch of different books and courses you can take. Like I said, it It really doesn't take much to get started. Now, if you're looking for a certification to kind of get in the field, if you're fairly new to cybersecurity or hacking, I would say get the learn some basic networking. So like get the Network Plus certification or maybe a CCNA. So I would say Network Plus, Security Plus, and then either Pen Test Plus or CEH. Those three are kind of fairly easy to get. You can kind of get those fairly quickly if you kind of read the books and study. And that will those courses and those books, I mean those certifications will kind of get you where you need to be as far as a foundation level. And then after that, it's just all technical experience. It's all hands-on doing CTFs, so Vuln Hubs or Hack the Box. Try Hack Me is another one that's up and coming. So those are a bunch that you can do. But yeah, back to what I was saying. See if there's anybody else over here. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Yes, you start noticing that the employers are starting to push on you a little bit more. Seem to like they're getting a little cocky because they feel like they're in a better position of power. I'm here to tell you that that's, for the moment, I'll say it's half true. Just because no one's going to make the jump right now to take another job unless they know that they're absolutely going to land on their feet. That would just be the logical thing to do. However, that's not permanent. Don't let these employers think that they have control over you, or that they're, I had one friend tell me that they basically told him straight up, like, what other choice do you have right now? And this is why even during normal times, I always say, make sure you always have a plan B. Make sure you're always working on something in the background. Make sure you're never satisfied. Make sure you always do the work. Make sure you always bet on yourself. And that's something that I believe, like, it's like a mantra, because you gotta make sure that you hold the leverage, because the moment that they think they could take advantage of you, they will. Remember, at the end of the day, a company's job and priority is to make money, and to whether it's to leverage or exploit their employees to make the most profit they can. That's just what it is. So my response would be, never compromise who you are, compromise your integrity for anybody. Not for your job, not for a so-called loved one, not for friends. No, you make sure you're still comfortable. Whatever you do at the end of the day, you're still comfortable in your own skin. And then the next one is, you just, stay hungry, stay working, stay doing other things. How do you start? What? Learning cybersecurity or hacking? I'll get back to you in a second. Let me just finish this point. Yeah, make sure you're always hungry and you're always willing to learn stuff, or make sure you have something that you can try to fall back on. So for example, anywhere I go, anywhere I go, my blog, my YouTube channel, social media, anything I do outside of work, I always make sure that that's mine. That's my intellectual property. So if I come out with anything, whether it's a course, an app, whatever it is, I will always own it. So no matter what I do, they can't take that from me. Whether I make money on it or I don't care. It's mine. And if I choose to share it with you, then whatever. That's the first thing I do, because again, that's just leverage. That's just something that I do because I have plans on things that I want to work on. And a lot of tech companies will make you sign certain things that say, hey, if you create something while you're working for the company, they can try to take ownership of it. But at the same time, I go in and like I said, I'm never satisfied. I don't care if they boost me up to manager or senior vice president or whatever. I'm always making sure I'm looking at the next thing. I'm always making sure that I'm looking at what I can do to better myself, who or where I need to go or talk to um, in order to improve. So this way I always have leverage, whether it comes time for a promotion, whether it comes times for, a raise and you're negotiating, or whether you're looking for a new job. You always want to make sure you have that leverage, because the moment they think they got you, they'll try it. And you just don't want to give that to them. And especially now during this quarantine where people are working because they're essential, or people are working because the company didn't lay them off yet, you know, sometimes they'll try to take advantage of that. And it's a messed up way to do business, but unfortunately we live in a messed up world and some messed up times. So you always got to make sure that you're well protected. So like I said, I will never tell you to just jump out the window and quit, because like I said, I'm not financially responsible for you, and I don't know what your responsibilities and obligations are. So you always got to make sure you got to do what's best for you and your family. But you always want to make sure that whatever you do, you put yourself and your family first. So if you're dealing with some crap right now, do what you can do and do the best you can do until you're in a situation you can do better. And if you're in the tech field, we all know that certain tech jobs are high in demand. So it's not the end of the world. You're not stuck there. If you want to stick it out, great. But the days of people working and staying with companies for 30, 40 years, those days are gone. Mainly because these employers are letting these people go, so they don't have to pay certain pensions, or they don't have to give certain bonuses for longevity. So they're letting go of their longest tenured employees. So if they don't have the loyalty, then neither should you. Your loyalty should be to whoever your priority is, whether it's yourself or whether it's your family, whether it's your spouse or your kids or your mom or whoever it is. That's who your loyalty is. Your loyalty shouldn't be to the company if it's not your own, or that of a loved one. That's just my thinking on it. You can disagree. We can agree to disagree, but hey. But that's the end of my rant. I just wanted to kind of give that advice because, like I said, a lot of people have been, reaching out and having different conversations with me about some things and how they were stressed out because, they don't want to leave right now. So my advice would be, do the best you can until you can do better. And when you can do better, start looking around and either make them fight to keep you, or if it's not, or if you figure it's not even worth it, move on. All right, let me take a look at some of these questions. How do you start hacking? Yes, hacking. Um, it depends on what experience you have. So if you don't have any experience, like I said, I would recommend. Hold on one second. There we go. If you don't have any experience, I would recommend learning basic networking. Um, like I said, Network Plus, CCNA. I know the CCNA is actually going away soon, but Network Plus, CompTIA's Network Plus is a good one to learn the basic of network stuff. And then from there, I would move into, if you're looking into getting into hacking, then I would learn Security Plus, because Security Plus reinforces what you learned in Network Plus, as well as the concepts of security. So it kind of gives you an overview of the different types of, vulnerabilities, threats, risks, penetration testing. It kind of gives you that overview. Then after Security Plus, you want to look at either CEH, so Certified Ethical Hacker, or Pen Test Plus, or honestly a combination of both. Now, the reason why I say uh, the both is because the Pen Test Plus, in my opinion, gets a little bit more in depth than the last version of CEH that I took. So I think CEH is on 10 now. I think I the last one I had was like 9. But the Pen Test Plus definitely was a little bit more in depth. The Pen Test Plus had a few more things that, in my opinion, were a little bit more technical. CEH is basically like another overview of pen testing. So CEH is kind of like, what's a pen test? What's a scan? How do what's the basics of using Nmap or Wireshark? Um, if it weren't for the companies really requiring CEH as one of the certifications they want to before they even interview you, I would probably say get the Pen Test Plus and don't worry about the CEH. But um, I would say get both. Start with the CEH, get a little bit of experience under your belt, then go for the Pen Test Plus. Then it just depends on where you want to go from there, and honestly, what your what your finances are looking like. You can take some SANS courses, um, but SANS is like expensive, like $6,000-7,000 a course. You can go the OSCP route. I would just say make sure you get some more technical experience before you jump into the OSCP. Uh, and getting the technical experience is free. You can go on Hack the Box for free. You can go on Try Hack Me for free. You can download vulnerable boxes from VulnHub for free. So, and just practice, 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 and then go for the OSCP. Um, Honestly, anything after CEH and Pentest Plus, I would say get some hands-on experience under your belt. Um, when we learn ethical hacking or bug hunting, they have to use Kali. Well, yeah, Kali. So Kali is the go-to, especially if you're going to go for the OSCP, because offensive security manages and manages Kali. So they come out with the distros. They do the updates. They're the ones behind Kali, and they're also behind the OSCP PWK penetration testing with Kali Linux course. So the PWK. So it's definitely good to learn Kali Linux, but there are several different distributions you can use. There's Parrot. I actually like Parrot. I go back and forth between Parrot and Kali. So there's Parrot, there's Arch, there's a bunch of different ones you can get, but it's usually Kali, Arch Linux, or Parrot that I usually hear about the most. And then after that, it's just based on certain preferences. Like I heard there's like there's Samurai for if you're focused more towards web app pen testing. So let's see. What will they teach us on Network Plus to use So Network Plus and Security Plus doesn't really. No, Security Plus might talk about Kali Linux a little bit. Network Plus does not get into pen testing. Network Plus is strictly networking. So it teaches you about TCP/IP, the difference between TCP/IP and UDP. It teaches you about network ports. It teaches you about subnetting. It teaches you about subnet masks. And the reason why you need to know this is because when you go into Security Plus and then also into the pen testing courses, you need to know certain things about networking. You need to know what network ports do what. You need to know what's the difference between a TCP and a UDP, TCP port and a UDP port. You need to know the differences. You need to know how to, HTTP versus HTTPS, or what's SSL versus TLS. You need to know encryption. These are all things that you'll learn in Network Plus and then going into Security Plus. And some people will tell you that you could just jump right into security. I would recommend, and I would recommend, and honestly, a lot of people who I know that are very well off, that are very good in security, will tell you to make sure you get some networking under your belt. You can't really be great at security without knowing some networking. So let's see. So back to what I was saying, when you learn ethical hacking, yes, you'll learn Kali. You'll learn, like I said, Kali is the baseline, but then pretty much every one of them that I said before about Parrot or Arch Linux, they're all very similar. They have a couple subtle differences, but for the most part, once you learn one, you can get the hang of the others. Let's see. What else do we have? And so tools you would need to learn. That what you're asking? Yeah. And, okay. Will they use Kali or Windows and some tools? So in network, like I said, Network Plus, they'll probably the tool you'll probably hear about or you'll probably look at in Network Plus if they go that route is Wireshark, which is basically a package sniffing tool. So you use Wireshark to kind of see what's going on in the background with the network traffic and the network packets. CEH, you'll probably learn more Wireshark. You'll learn Nmap. They might give you a broad overview of Burp Suite. You'll learn the basics of Netcat. Um, I don't think you'll learn the basic. You should learn the basics of Bash scripting. I think that's more in Pentest Plus. CEH, you don't really. I don't think they really go too in depth with Bash scripting, and you'll learn Metasploit. And like I said, that will get your foot in the door, and then after that, it's kind of getting your hands on technical experience after that. All right. So I didn't. Okay, is OWASP Zap good? Yes, OWASP Zap is good. It's honestly so OWASP Zap is OWASP's alternative to Burp Suite. Um, you can use OWASP Zap for web app pen testing, bug bounties, and everything, just like Burp Suite. Um, for starting at Burp, yeah, I would. Yeah, you could use OWASP Zap. It's truly, I guess, your preference. Um, I haven't really messed with Zap in recent times, but Burp I think has a few more tools and is a little easier to use than Zap. I'm I'm currently dealing with some folks from OWASP and trying to better understand Zap for something that I'm working on, just to kind of go over the differences. So, I hope to have more information, or I hope to be able to kind of navigate through the differences between Burp and Zap. But like I said, I started off using Burp, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like once you're accustomed to it, um, it's for me it's just easier to navigate through Burp than it is with Zap. But like I said, I've heard great things about Zap. I mean, people go back and forth, especially on Twitter, debating about the differences between Burp and Zap all the time. So for bug hunting, yes, you're going to need to learn. I mean, for bug hunting, you're going to need to use some type of proxy. So Burp or Zap would definitely be um, a definite to get started in bug hunting. But since it seems like a lot of people, but I know I don't understand. But like bug hunters, we all want is finding bugs, right? So you can use whatever operating system you want and just download the tools you need for bug hunting. You don't need. I'm not saying you necessarily need Metasploit for bug hunting. I'm saying Kali has the tools already built in, so it's easier to get as opposed to downloading them on Windows. If you want to use Windows, go ahead. I mean, I use Burp Suite on my Windows machine. I use Burp Suite on my Kali machine. It's just my preference at that time. Um, there are certain tools that when you're doing bug bounties, that you might need other tools that aren't as easy to download on Windows. So, for example, um, if I want to do some brute force, some subdirectory brute forcing, you can use Burp. You can use Burp Spider tool. Actually, with the new versions of Burp, it kind of spiders by itself. But older versions of Burp allowed you to actually run a spider. But With Kali, I can run Derb, or I can run Sublister, or I can run Durbuster, or I can run GoBuster. I can run these tools manually. So it's just your preference. So again, you can download all the tools you need for bug hunting on a Windows machine. I just say sometimes you can use a hacking distribution because the tools are already there. You don't need. I'm not saying you don't need really need Metasploit for bug hunting, but you will need other tools other than Zap and Burp. Like I said, there will be times where you might have to do some different things. So that's why I say you can use Kali. But if you're learning the basics of pen testing, you're going to need to have to know how to use Kali, because there aren't any bug bounty certification courses outside of Bug Crowd University and Hacker 101 and maybe some courses on Udemy. So the reason why I say getting your CEH and stuff like that is because it teaches you the basics of using these tools, but they will also teach you how to use them on Kali Linux. So since we're talking on the subject of bug hunting, I will give one piece of advice. Bug hunting is not easy. Bug hunting can get frustrating. Bug hunting can lead to burnout and imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're just not cut for it. And why you see and hear about all these people making all kinds of money and getting $10,000 bounties, or $1 million hackers and stuff like that. And all you get are like you submit your bugs and you get like duplicates. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Just like everything you do, it's going to take some time before you become proficient at it. So that's my advice. Don't get discouraged, because it's easy to get discouraged during bug hunting. Like when I first started bug hunting, I actually quit because it was just like, I'm not really getting any money. I'm not making anything. I'm getting dupes, or I'm getting swag. It's like, great, I did all these hours of bug hunting and you sent me stickers. So I actually stopped and was just like, listen, I'm just gonna whatever. And now I'm trying to get back into it, and it's actually one of my goals that I'm gonna at least dedicate one day a week, not a whole day, but maybe 4 or 5 hours once a week, to hunting bugs, and see how it goes. And if I'm successful, then I'll do more time. What can bug hunters do if they want to work with a company but don't want to learn how to exploit and social engineering? Well, with bug hunting, you don't need to worry about social engineering. With bug hunting, you might need to know how to exploit the bug, because that's usually where you can make the most money, where you can show the impact it has on the application or the company. So, like I said, when I first started, it was like, oh, look, I found a cross-site scripting, and I found it to reflect. So it did alert 1. So the pop-up box popped up and said 1, and it was like, oh, great, thanks. Here's some stickers. But if you want to show the impact it's going to have on the company, or you want to show the impact, so you're going to have to learn how to, either write code or manipulate code to exploit like command injections or IDORs or anything like that. You need to actually show that, hey, this vulnerability exists and this is what I was able to do with it. So I was able to change a user's password by doing this attack, or I was able to delete a payment because in the URL it was, it showed this, and all I did was iterate it and change the numbers up a little bit, change the IDs. Is there a difference between pen testing and bug hunting? Yes. So the core is the same. At the core, pen testing and bug hunting are the same, because at the end of the day, the goal is to find vulnerabilities and see how you can leverage them to gain access, or something that you can't, or do something that you're not supposed to be able to do. Where it where they separate is with pen testing. You're doing it for the company you work for. You're doing it for the company that's your target. With bug hunting, again, you're kind of just looking at the exploit and dealing with that target at that moment. Pen testing, you're doing a whole engagement. Penetration test, you're doing everything from the initial scoping out, talking to the customer before you even run your first scan, and then doing everything else. So you're going through your phases. You're going through your information gathering. You're going through your vulnerability scans and validations. You're going through determining attack vectors, and then exploitation, and then privilege escalation, and gaining, privilege escalation, and maintaining access, and then covering your tracks and writing your report, and getting all the data you can. Where bug bounties is just more of, okay, hey, I found this bug, I was able to exploit it. I did use a lot of the same phases you would use in a traditional pen test, but it's just different. That's the best way I can explain it. um we have anything else going on? If you guys are looking for resources on bug bounties, I would definitely check out NomSec. What can bug hunters do to learn how to start? I think I put it in this chat earlier. There are a bunch of books I would recommend getting. Um, yeah, so I have an article on alphacybersecurity.tech, 10 books to get started in penetration testing. Um, I would say get the Web Application Hackers Handbook. I would say get real world bug hunting from Peter Yorsk. He also does like web application hacking 101. I would say get those two books, even though they're very similar. Um, Check out Bug Crowd University. Check out Hacker 101, and go on Udemy and get a download, or not download, purchase a few of the web application hacking courses, because that will teach you how to navigate through a web application to find vulnerabilities, because vulnerabilities are the same thing as finding bugs in a website. And there's also bug bounty courses on Udemy as well. So just go on udemy.com. Here, I'll put the link in for Udemy again. These are a list of hacking courses, but if you go on Udemy and honestly just search for bug bounty, a bunch of those will pop up. So that's what I will. So when you're doing bug bounties, for companies to accept you into their bug bounty program, that's where you kind of have to honestly start at the bottom. That's why I said don't get discouraged. Don't. That's why I said don't get discouraged if you're not really finding big money bugs, or you're only finding dupes. You got to kind of gain that reputation. In the meantime, like I said, I would say practice, because it will make you better for when you start looking at bug hunting. Um, it's not like applying for a regular job. I mean, some companies do have private bug bounty programs. So then that's where you can say, hey, I have my CEH, or I have my Pen Test Plus, or I have this experience with I have my OSCP, or I have this experience with pen testing. But for like for the companies that are on Bug Crowd and Hacker One, you just have to kind of get accepted into them. So what you do is you kind of just start at the bottom and see what you can get into, and work your way up, get your reputation up. That's pretty much the only thing you really can do. So that's pretty much that. So like I said, just don't get discouraged though, because the moment you get, everything just relies on you sticking with it, and staying on top of things. And to be honest with you, it's not really a lot that you have to buy. You don't really need to, in the beginning, you don't have to buy Burp Suite Pro. You can start with the community version. Yeah, it's a little slow and you don't have the burp scanner, but you can, if that bothers you, then you can learn how to use OAuth Zap, where they have everything free. And then you just might have to just figure out the differences or the alternatives to certain burp tools. Like I said, I'm not very strong with Zap. I'm working on it, and hopefully I plan on writing an article that will explain some of the differences between Burp and Zap, that you can use. So if you're accustomed to using Burp's tools, here's the equivalent in Zap. That's one of my goals I have coming up in the next month or so. So you don't have to, come out of pocket too much. Like I said, I would say get the books, maybe get a course or two on Udemy while they're on sale. Um, Check out Pluralsight. Pluralsight is doing a free month of everything. So if you go on Pluralsight and search for web hacking, they might have some courses that you can do for free for a month. Cybrary has some courses you can do free for a month. Um, and then honestly, you can just Google and YouTube a lot of stuff. There's a lot of resources on there. Uh, Not to plug my own stuff, but I'll be coming out in the next few weeks with different things for web hacking. So I'll go through some of the core. I'll go through some of the vulnerabilities. I don't know if I'm gonna start. If I'm gonna do actually like videos with them, but I definitely plan on doing articles. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, now that I know that YouTube and Twitch have kind of eased up on their restrictions with hacking videos, I'm gonna get back into that very soon. And yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of different resources you could take a look at. So you don't have to spend a lot of money just yet. Um, but I will say the $400 for Burp Suite Pro is worth it. And once you really get into web hacking or bug hunting, you'll make that money back. So does anybody else have anything else? So if we were to have a good career at finding a bug on websites or apps, that would be very good to be accepted or invited to a company on a bounty program. Um, Again, with bug bounties, it's just kind of building your reputation. If you're a strong bug bounty hunter, that can leverage you into getting a full-time job at one of these companies that pay very well. So maybe I had CH and all that, but the guy who has been more accepted than me. Again, it just depends on what you're trying to do. If your main focus is to just be a full-time bug hunter, um, then you're just gonna have to work on it until you build a reputation. If you are already working as a penetration tester and you're slowly building your way up, the experiences you have as a penetration tester or doing web app pen testing will help you become a better bug hunter. This is a reason why I keep saying to read these different books, take these different courses and certifications because they all will complement you in the long run. Um, and besides, you don't want to just, not everybody can be the top bug hunters in the world. Like, no one can, like, just like how everybody's not going to make it into the NBA or the NFL or anything like that. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So again, I work full time as a pen tester, and then I'll do bug hunting on the side. And then when bug hunting, if I ever get to the point where bug hunting can supplement my life, then I'll make the switch. Um, so if you have the time and the resources and the patience to do bug hunting full time, then go for it. Like, I'm not here to knock or discourage anybody, but what I will say is, yeah, until you gain that reputation, or until you get a few bugs, until you get a few bug bounty write-ups, even if you don't get paid for them, if you get a few write-ups under your belt that shows you have some experience, these companies will start letting you come into their programs. Now, when you become, if you become a top bug hunter for one of these programs, so for example, let's say you become a top bug hunter for Salesforce, yeah, they might offer you a job, but you still have to kind of start somewhere. Can we get certified from OWASP? No. OWASP doesn't have any certifications. Like I said, it's OWASP helps got with the guidelines for web hacking or web application hacking. So OWASP comes out with the OWASP top 10 for web applications, for mobile applications, for APIs. So they tell you what are the top 10 vulnerabilities in most web apps right now. So then from there, you take the OWASP top 10, you take the examples they give you, you take the cheat sheets and all the materials that they give you, and then you go looking for the vulnerabilities. So for example, if they say, like, for the longest, SQL injection was, like, I think number one on the list. Now you go Google how to do SQL injections. That you learn the difference between like doing like the union statement SQL injections, or SQL injections to gain access into, like, logging into a website, or doing blind SQL injections using things like the sleep command. You learn how to, and it's just kind of building yourself up. Burp Suite, I don't think there's a certification course from Burp Suite. However, the creators of Burp Suite have the Web Security Academy. I'll get that link for you. So Burp Suite has the Web Security Academy, which is another free online course that teaches you how to look for these vulnerabilities using Burp Suite and how to leverage them. Why? Because you can use those. Those are the vulnerabilities that you would mostly look for in web applications and bug bounties. And then again, I keep talking about the Web Application Hacker Handbook. This book right here. This book will pretty much, it's an older book, but it will show you everything you need to know as far as web hacking. And also, Portswigger, who also helped make Burp Suite, wrote this book. So that's another reason why I say get the book, take these courses, and just practice. So what can we do? What can we do, bug hunters, or we can learn pen testing and learn bug hunting at the same time? This book and the Web Security Academy, Bug Crowd University Hacker 101 and looking up like web application hacking CTFs. But those will teach you pretty much everything you need to know. And then for web app hacking, there are certifications you can get. So you can't get a certification that's specifically for bug bounties, but you can get certifications in web app hacking. And like I said, web app hacking is the same thing as bug bounties. It's finding the same vulnerabilities you would look for in bug bounties on websites. So remember, when you get hired, or when you do these bug bounties, you're testing their websites, you're testing their applications, you're testing their mobile apps, you're testing their APIs, whatever it is that you're testing their applications. So if you learn how to do pen testing on applications, you'll have the experience to do the bug bounties, which will make you a better bug bounty hunter, which will then get you the money and the reputation you need to move forward in your career. And then the other thing you can do is just watch a lot of videos from other bug hunters. You can check out Stoke, you can check out Namsec, you can check out now I'm drawing blanks, but you could definitely check those two guys out. Namsec is on here at least 2-3 times a week. So there are certifications for web app hacking. Yes, you can learn how to do web app hacking. Let's see. Like, so you could honestly just Google where different web hacking certifications. But offensive security, the same people who do the OSCP have a web app hacking course. Let's see. CEH kind of touches on it a little bit. SANS has a course. So yeah, there's different courses you can get and certifications you can get that in web app hacking. And because you learn the material in web app hacking that got you certified, you'll be able to look for the same vulnerabilities in bug bounties. But like I said, I would definitely start with reading this book, because no matter what course you take, this book has pretty much most of the stuff you're going to be looking for. And then, like I said, you can check out Namsec, you can check out Stoke, you can check out, you can go on Twitter. Most of the bug bounty hunters are on Twitter as well. And the thing with Namsec and Stoke is that they also interview other bug bounty hunters. So they give advice. Sometimes they give tools that they recommend. They'll tell you how they look for stuff or what their methodology is, and you can just kind of take it from there. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like I said, I actually started this channel last summer, but then I just got super busy with a whole bunch of other stuff, and then YouTube started bugging out about hacking videos, so I stopped. But now, like I said, now that I know that they are okay with it as long as it's for educational purposes and it's not on real live targets, I'm gonna get back into it. So like I said, I totally plan on doing CTF walkthroughs of network pen testing, or even some web app stuff. I'm not saying I'm teaching bug bounty stuff, but you might come across a CTF where I'm hacking something that has a website that has a vulnerability for SQL injection or cross-site scripting. So, and I fully intend on explaining it when I'm doing it. So just, again, stay tuned for that. Like I said, I'm getting all that set back up now that they kind of lifted that. And I got some other things I'm working on in the meantime. So those will be coming really soon. And like I said, I'll definitely don't understand. They are certificates specialized at hacking and finding vulns on websites. Yes. So web application hacking is finding vulnerabilities on websites, which are also known as web applications. Bug bounties are also basically bug bounties are the name of the program that companies are paying hackers to look for stuff on their website. So it's one and the same. Like I said, I put the links for some of the training courses. Other things, like I said, I would just say just kind of do an internet search of which of different web hacking certifications you can get. Like I said, I put the link in there for the book, and as well as the bug hunting book that kind of explains the different vulnerabilities you'll find. But again, it's all the same. It's basically the same thing as web hacking. So I gotta head out in a little bit. I got some other stuff I gotta do, and I gotta start recording some other stuff. So I'll take a few more questions, and then I'm gonna call it a night. So like I said, so just if you just scroll up and check the links of the different courses. CEH, again, I don't know how in depth CEH version 10 gets into web app hacking, but CEH does like a broad, like a quick overview, like it does a quick glance at it. So okay, hold on, I'm gonna actually look up something right now for web app hacking. Actually, one of the courses that I actually recommend. Just give me 1 second here. So, oh boy, let's see. So I'm gonna give the link to one of the articles I wrote on Udemy courses, and then I'm also going to, where is it? Let's see. All right. So the first link is the link to my article on Udemy courses. The second link is the actual course on Udemy, and then this is the name of it: Learn Website Hacking Penetration Testing from Scratch. That's a really good course to help people learn web hacking. And then there is one more. Oh no! So there are some that say that teach bug bounty, but it's really just the same vulnerabilities that you would learn in this same course. Yes. So learn web app hacking, which will help you find bugs on websites, which will also help you get a good career in bug bounty hunting. Yes, absolutely. All right, so I would, like I said, check that out. Check out some of these. Check out the other links that I put in here for the different courses you can take. Like I said, other than the Udemy link and the links that are in the books for to the books in my article, all this other stuff is free. So Bug Crowd University is free. Hacker 101 is free. The Web Security Academy is free. Um, Make a second time. Oh yeah, so I plan on doing at least a video once a week. That's kind of gonna be formatted like this, where I might do stuff, and then I'm actually gonna do technical videos. Again, I'm just trying to work on getting all of that set up and just finding time, because again, I also work full time and I do a whole bunch of other things. So my days are pretty booked. So I'm dedicating one day a week where I'm going to do certain things, and then I have to edit the videos and put them out, or maybe I'll do them live. It just depends. But I'm definitely gonna. So if you guys just stay tuned, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you click the notification bell, it'll let you know every time I come online. Every time I come online, and like I said, I plan on doing more videos like this. I'm going to honestly get into, there'll be some videos that'll be super entertaining for what you want to learn, and but everything, I'm gonna go from setting up your virtual environment. So setting up a Kali Linux machine, going over some of the tools, how to use some of the tools, and then we're going to get into, hacking some vulnerable stuff and hacking some vulnerable sites. Not live hacking on real stuff, but maybe vulnerable images. And then, like I said, we'll also get into, and again, that's stuff that will help translate over to learning more about web hacking and learning about, bug bounty stuff. So if you can pick up the book, download, you could purchase that course, check out some of the free stuff that I put up, and hopefully I will see you guys next week. So like I said, in the meantime, like the video, please. I appreciate the support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for the notifications, and I'll see you guys, like I said, next week. All right, you guys take care. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, the website will always be the main resource with as far as the articles. Honestly, what I plan on doing is, when I do the videos, the article will probably either come out right before or right after the video, so you actually have it where you can read along and see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I'm probably going to end up doing that, where I'm going to write it up first, and then you can follow along with it. So again, I appreciate the support. You guys stay tuned for more stuff. Like, follow, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. So I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. You guys take care. I'm also on Twitter and on Instagram. Hold on, let's see. So that's my stuff on Twitter and Instagram, and then Facebook is basically Facebook is just an extension of my blog. So when I do the stuff from my blog sites, it uploads it to Facebook as well. Also, if you have any questions or stuff for the next video, you can leave a comment, and we'll try to get on that next time. All right. Well, if you have it, then great. If not, that's no problem. Like I said, you guys can follow me there, and you can also just follow me here on YouTube, and I'll see you guys next week. All right. I'm gonna break out of here. Get something to eat, and I got some more writing I need to do. So thanks for the questions. Thanks for the support. You guys take care, and I will see you next week. soon as I